Like problem 3, this one has a combination of two fractions that can only be done if there's a common denominator. So you got to factor this to see what your denominator is. You could probably guess that one of them is an x minus 7, and lo and behold it is. The other one's an x plus 3. Okay, we're missing an x plus 3 that I can kind of squeeze in here, and I got an x plus 3 that I can squeeze in there. I now have a common denominator, don't I? And multiplying by 1 makes it easy, because now all I have to do is subtract 10 from that. Let me write it out. X plus 3, x minus 7. The numerator is whatever I've got over here, which is an x plus 3 times 1, so that doesn't matter too much. And then minus 10, but people, look at what I've done. And I've done this right. I've just set this over this. Some of you are going to look at that and try and cancel it, but you can't. Okay? It's connected by plus or minus, and you have unfinished business to take care of up top here. So don't try and reduce something that should absolutely not be reduced. I've got a 3 minus 10. That's actually a negative 7. So when I simplify this, I got x minus 7 over x plus 3, x minus 7. This will cancel with that now, because it represents the entire numerator, and so this x plus 3 is on the bottom, but the only way you can indicate that it's on the bottom is make sure you put that 1 up top, and technically that's our coefficient out in front of here that we don't pay too much attention to, because usually we don't have to. Okay? And lastly, in this section, we have two common denominators again that we need to find common denominators so we can add them together. Now that right there is complete and done. Okay, we can also factor the numerator, and we'll take a look at that in a second, because it happens to match this. You can't cancel those, by the way. You can, however, factor out a 2x, leaving you with an x minus 1. Well, conveniently enough, there's another x minus 1. If I multiply the top and the bottom by 2x of this fraction, I will now have a common denominator between these two. The numerator starts with this 2x, because it's a 2x times 1, minus that 1. Let me set that up on the bottom. Denominator of the denominator, 2x times x minus 1. And in the numerator of that, I have my 2x minus 1. Okay? That entire numerator, I don't really have much room to write it, but it goes right there in that spot. Okay? But now we have a fraction over a fraction. So what I can do is I can take my x plus 3 over, and if I factor that, I get a 2x times x minus 1 times the reciprocal of my denominator, which means this goes up top, 2x, x minus 1, and that goes on the bottom, 2x minus 1. 2x's cancel, x minus 1's cancel. I'm left with this over that, and I think there was a mix-up in setting this thing up, because that actually matches this one up here. Don't know if we meant to do that, but I think one of these should have been flip-flopped in our solution bank. But that's how you do those.